wherever you are zooming in, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to you all. So welcome to the call today. So as you all know, we are in this call today because we want to hear from one of the main people as part of the opportunity that we join, as in Hyperverse. So we want to get started. So just to let you know, we are going to whiz through this. Sam Lee is a very, very busy person, but he can surely find some time for us to come on a call with us, which is very great. We're very grateful for. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through a series of questions with Sam, and these questions, just so everybody know, these questions are from the VIP leaders within Hyperverse. We came together, I think week before last, and we put some questions together from everybody within the community. So I hope everybody's question will be answered. In order not to be repetitious, that's what we try to do in order to make it easier for Sam, so that make it easier for us, so that we can also get answers for our community. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through a series of questions regarding Hyperverse, and then after that, so Sam knows the structure. After that, what we're going to do is then talk to Sam about what he's got in way of support and helping us. So we will talk to Sam more around Hyperverse first, and then at the end of those questions, I'll go into other questions round about what Sam's doing now that he can utilize to support us, for those who want to know about that as well. So with no further ado, 2 minutes pass, time has passed already, because we are going to be thick and fast with these questions. And Sam, we just want to welcome you to our call. And what I want to do now is spotlight you. So let's find you and spotlight you. I'm just spotlighting Sam.
Great, thank you, Susan. Do you want to start recording this?
I think Des Amy is doing that. Is that correct, Des? Yes. Brilliant. Thanks for the reminder. I love that. I love that. So Sam, welcome. Welcome to the call. I think me and you start having a chat, I think it was a week or so ago, didn't we? We had a sudden talk on the phone. So we was having a nice chat. But what I want now is to get down to some serious questions, because we've got people in this call that really want answers. And, you know, we want you to do the best you can to give us as much information as possible. And then later on, maybe half hour later or so, we go into what you have that might be useful to us. So we want to get over that hurdle of the verse, what's happening with the verse. And what we want to do is just find out from you, is there anything that you can help us with these questions? So these questions from the community. So I'm just going to start now with these questions. So the first question I want to ask you is around the structure of Hypertech Group. So just so that people can understand, and just taking them from the beginning as to where we are. So Hypertech Group, tell me about Hypertech Group and the structure and the companies that sit within Hypertech Group, please.
Great. And before I begin talking about that, I'd like to firstly apologize. I am actually parked in the middle of nowhere to do this Zoom. So I do apologize if this is not the best of lighting, but I am here with everyone now. I want to first highlight that Hypertech Group is a technology company that has been delivering technology in this space since 2017. So I've got other positions in other companies that have subsequently done very well in this industry outside of the, how should I call it, hyper ecosystem. But Hyper has always been a key platform for us to disseminate our expertise in this industry. So the technology company has been driving forward the infrastructure layer of this space. And when I say infrastructure, it's not the Bitcoin mining side, because that actually sits in a separate entity. But we're talking about custody, payments, wallets, exchanges, as well as liquidity pools, in order to drive this industry forward. So my objective is to now be here and, of course, be in front of a community that is looking for answers, and also, aside from giving some answers, requesting for some visibility in return, because of course the situation hasn't gone well, because I have put forward key people that are long-term partners of mine, who have oversawn and ran the affiliate marketing side. And the affiliate marketing side is a separate business to Hypertech Group's other hyper-related businesses. And that is why, even under much pressure, we have always trusted corporate to do the right thing, to deliver on their promises. And it wasn't taken lightly, but it was done out of sheer pressure, that we had to, for example, tweet as Hyperpay that, Hyperpay has nothing to do with Hyperverse. So I believe Hyper as an umbrella is, a strong ecosystem in this industry, but unfortunately, for the affiliate marketing side, it has been misrepresented to a certain degree, and I'm here to make those corrections, and of course, put forward a pathway that can drive an outcome that requires no further investment from the community members today.
Okay, brilliant, Sam. So what I want you to do is talk about that later on. I want to get into some meat first, because there's people who've never heard anything that you had to say at all, so they're brand new. So I'll ask you to park that in that idea that you got for us just a bit until the end, and then I'll ask some specific questions, and just to get some specific answers from you, because the community has put these questions together and they want direct answers for the questions that I'm asking you. So so what are the other companies that sits under Hypertech Group, just so we are all clear?
So Hypertech Group, as a umbrella organization, has minority shares in many of the hyper branded ecosystem. The affiliate marketing side is purely a technology partnership, as well as a funds management mandate, where money is received from the community, has been managed, and we've made a significant profit on that, and have returned the full amount, less our management fees. So that happens upon maturity, and the relationship between the affiliate marketing side and the rest of Hyper is just only on those two legs. As for all the other aspects that are branded Hyper, it's through minority investments, because they have brought a significant value in exchange for, of course, our networks and resources to help them grow. In terms of Hypertech, it is just purely a technology company, standalone, and we've been just providing infrastructure layer technology to various companies within this industry. Okay,
thank you very much. So specifically speaking then, Colin Star, is that part of the structure?
No, Colin Star is a venture fund.
A venture fund, yeah.
And we've made some great investments through that vehicle over the years. And of course, in retrospect, some horrible ones as well. But
Fair enough.
the winners, of course, more than compensate for the losers that we have done, because of just the rising tide lifting all boats. So with I've also been a general partner of Colin Starr, and have delivered value there. Colin Starr was actually incubated by the Blockchain Center, which I founded back in 2014, and the platform is still making investments, and of course still deploying capital, especially in the bear market, because these market conditions are the best time to be building.
And then Hyperpay?
Hyperpay, we have a minority stake in, and that, of course, is separate to the affiliate marketing side of the business.
Okay, thank you so much for answering those. And I want to home in now on Hyperverse. When Hyperverse started as affiliate, it was there to, I know people talk about their one time or the 1x, which is irrelevant because people don't go in with a 1x, so to speak. They don't put something in to take it back out again. They put something in to take out more than what they've put in. But unfortunately, there's been people, as you know, that's put in and hasn't got anything out, got zero out of that. I just want to know, what is your role and responsibility in relation to Hyperverse, and who is the CEO of Hyperverse, please?
So the roles and responsibility was around the technology and the funds management. Okay. We were never an investor within the Hyperverse platform, so it was never the scenario where we put money in and took more money out. It was the other way around. We managed money, which we assumed was customer funds, membership funds, and have done very well. So given that we've contributed to the balance sheet of Hyperverse, it, to me, is surprising that we're seeing the situation today. So I'm understanding that it took a while to get out here into the public, in front of the community, because it takes time for me to run out of patience when waiting for corporates' promises, and seeing the time go by and still remain underdelivered. So our relationship is on the funds and funds management and the technology side, but because it's a completely different entity, deploying the platform on its own servers, etc., I don't have any visibility over the database. I don't have any visibility over what 1x is, but I am here now to gain that level of visibility so that I can help the community hold the promises accountable, and of course, have the conversation to ensure that the community's able to be looked after outside of corporate as well. Because as a plan B, things need to start moving.
Okay, I agree. Things definitely need to start moving because we've literally run out of patience, basically. So, do you know who is the CEO of Hyperverse?
I don't know who's running the show at the affiliate marketing side of the business. I am under a number of NDAs, so my disclosure of that information is not going to help the community, because at the end of the day, the objective is to get visibility over the promise and have them deliver on that promise. So that process needs to start with first everybody giving me the information around their deposits and withdrawals, and of course the relevant screenshots.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that, Sam. Just for some clarity, some people will probably don't know what you mean by NDA. So can you say what that is?
Yeah, it's a NDA stands for a non-disclosure agreement. We have it in the business world all the time, and it prevents us from disclosing certain commercial in confidence information. Of course, the delays are unfortunate, but at this stage, because it has not escalated any further, and I still believe that corporate has every intention to deliver on their promise. That is why I'm being patient, but not just sitting around doing nothing.
And it's the reason why you're coming to us today.
Yes, to begin the discovery phase so that I understand what was promised and I can bring that to the attention of corporate so that they understand that time is running out.
And how long are you giving them?
Well, I'm already here, so they should be under significant pressure knowing that I'm not going away, and the community is not going away until what was promised is delivered.
And yes, and so we definitely want some answers, really, because they've been promising us. Now, look, they did talk about various products that we can use to help us, and one of those products they brought to us was Hyperbond, which is still being utilized today in the other entity, Hypernation. And then the other one that they brought out, now I'm a bit confused with this one, because Hyperverse, they're now saying, put Hyperverse behind you. We are now Cosmos. So what is Cosmos, and do you know anything about it?
No, I don't have any visibility, but it doesn't look like it's a genuine attempt at recovery. So I feel that it is important that people understand that I am patient with everything up until a certain point, but without transparency given to me by corporate, I am not in a position to help them. And you know, if I'm not in a position to help them, but I still want to help the community, then I have to reach out direct to the community.
So when you say corporate, where are we referring to? Verse, tech, where does corporate sit?
Well, the entire affiliate marketing side of the hyper branded business I refer to as corporate, because as far as I'm aware, that's all run by the same membership management company.
Okay. And then you actually mentioned the bit that you were part of, which is the technology, and then you mentioned the funding. Can you elaborate a little bit more on this funding management company that you had side by side to support the members?
Yeah, Colin Starr is one of them.
Okay.
And we're in a position to, of course, support them with more. We just need visibility from them.
Okay. So in relation to you, because obviously you go to board meetings. So you go to board meetings. I mean, what do they tell you? Because obviously we are very angry at this point, to be quite honest. We just want to know. We want answers. So what do you talk about at board meetings?
Well, again, they just make the same promises that solution is being worked on, etc. But I don't have visibility on solution and the timeline. And when the solution comes out into the market, and it's radically different than what was discussed. Of course, it's upsetting, but I ultimately still need to be patient with them because I just don't have the visibility to be in a position to ask the right questions. That is why I'm here. I'm here for visibility that only the community can provide, and considering I'm not getting it from corporate.
Right. So you want our database in order to put pressure. Is that what you're saying on them?
Yes. So I don't necessarily care about the pending rewards for leadership at this point in time. But I do need leadership to be on board with helping me gather all the data of all the members to identify the 1X. I value leadership and all the hard work that you guys have done to create the community, to bring now almost full house of 1,000 participants into this Zoom is quite incredible. And I understand that we're in a very strong position to build everything back up to where things are at again. But it has to be done in a transparent way where you guys are comfortable that because it's done in the right format, with the right contracts in place and with the right partners, that this could have the longevity needed to make everyone whole. And not all opportunities moving forward require funds. My job is to first find out how much is owed based on the promise, right? And corporate did not promise leadership their pending rewards, so that is of secondary concern to me at this point in time. So thank you for just bringing everyone here, allowing us to focus on specifically the 1X.
Okay. So in the agreement, it states that if they couldn't pay out, they would dissolve other assets to pay us out. So why haven't they done that? Why don't they dissolve other assets to pay the members?
Well, firstly, those assets aren't sitting on my balance sheet, so I'm sure they have assets. $100 million of assets. Based on my knowledge of what we've been able to make in the last couple of bull markets, they definitely do have, but they're not on my balance sheet. I don't have visibility on that.
So looking at the balance sheet, you can't see those figures in reserves. They're not there.
Not on my balance sheet. They can't. Let's give an example here. Colin Starr invested in Binance. Right. Those successes have subsequently been divided out to the relevant investors back in 2018, right? Because it was a 2017 investment. So my point is that, of course, predates any other community building aspect through an affiliate marketing system. So those assets that is referencing $100 million is not something I have visibility on.
Yes, because I remember when I saw it in the agreement in the back office in our account, but the 100 million disappeared in the wordings. It wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you guys have backups of it. So it is something
I've got copies. I've got copies of it.
It is something that needs to be brought up. But right. Again, until we have face-to-face conversations with the community and the leadership that leads this community, I'm not able to ask the right questions to get the results that we all need.
Right. So because of that, right, what can we as a community do? Because I think Eb is getting at the end of their tether now. What is it that we can do to help you? Can we start a legal process to get this thing moving? And would you be supporting us on that if we started something like that?
Sorry. Give me a second. Sorry, this is just
That's
a
okay.
very important message. Okay, so what needs to happen is the community and corporate needs to go through the first step, which is mediation.
Right.
I'm more than happy to mediate that process, but I need to know what corporate promised and what the community think is owed, right? So if mediation doesn't work, then it goes to a legal proceeding. The problem with legal proceedings in this industry is if we're in a position where corporate decides to just say, I give up, right? And it goes into bankruptcy proceedings, that is the worst case scenario anyone really wants, because what that means is this will be tied up in a legal quagmire for many, many, many years. Okay. It took, I think, 8 years for Mt. Gox users to get their money back, right? And obviously not, not in its entirety because of, the fluctuations in different cryptocurrencies. So my point is, does corporate value the community in the next bull market? Well, the answer for me, at least, is I value the community, right? And I know exactly how to drive value for the community, even without asking for money. Because what we're able to do with a database is get VC funding and build out some amazing businesses that has the ability to grow, right? And grow its shell into the next bull market, because this is the best time to be building. So what we need is corporates understanding that, the way they are able to win trust and have the community participate in the next thing, they really do need to make right on the promise that they have made. So I'm here to first understand and go for a discovery phase with everyone here. Second, mediate. And then third, if mediation doesn't happen, to a mutually agreeable extent, then of course legal proceedings are definitely right around the corner.
Right. So I just want everybody to hear that what Sam's saying, because some of us were thinking of doing that, but Sam will be behind us to actually get that done. So I just hope you understand. I just want to home in on a few little things though, because some people are a little bit concerned. So some people didn't understand. Well, they don't understand this Cosmos stance at the moment. So some people have transferred all their HUs into Cosmos. Does that mean they have no claim? Because they didn't understand?
I don't understand the position of corporate with Cosmos, so I have no comment.
Yeah, I mean, the other question I would be asking is, if they're moving from Verse to Cosmos, to me, it's the same thing. So whether they're in Cosmos or their rewards are still sitting in Verse, it should be the same thing, should it not?
Well, that's your interpretation. I just don't like to speculate on things
Yeah.
I don't. The fact is, when we do things moving forward, it must be done in a transparent manner, and you will hear right from the horse's mouth the answers for there to be no more speculation and for us to just decide whether we want to move or not.
I hear you. Right. I'm going to sum up this bit very quickly. So basically what you're saying is we give you our information, you go forward to corporate on our behalf with our information as what's owing to us. We can be peaceful and do mediation. If that doesn't work, it would have to be going down the further line of legal, which we don't want. It will take so long. So you will see what you can do. But one of my other questions is around the funds that you've got maturing that should be paid out to us. That fund that should be maturing this year, is it December? How does that work? Is there anything there that we can get?
That is again funds that legally belong to corporate, right? And they're the ones responsible for distributing that. That has not happened last time, and again, without me having visibility, and being able to be in a position to mediate on your behalf, then I will just simply do what the legal contract states, because that is basically me coming to the community and begging for us to work together to really understand the situation and mediate a solution. But you guys, if you guys aren't willing to provide that information to me, then there is very, very little I can do, right? So we have to understand that that was one of my main concerns. That's why I'm working this hard to win everyone's trust, because all I'm after is just some data, right?
Okay,
because without that data, then guess what? I am not in a position to even help, because corporates in these board meetings saying, Sam, you're not an expert in this. We know what we're doing. We're handling it. You guys then, when I come to you guys tell me the same thing, then, okay, I'll just go back in front of my computer and run my tech company. So look, I'm here to be helpful and ask the right questions. And for me to ask the right questions, I need for some visibility from the community.
Okay. So let's move down into what you want to do with this data then. In what format are you looking at, and what solutions or some of the solutions that you may have for us? Because remember, you mentioned that in the very first part that you had some solutions that could help this community.
Absolutely.
Just for all the, because I know we spoke about it. Sorry to cut you. I know we spoke about it, but just pretend that I don't know anything at all. And just because a lot of people been out of the loop, and I need transparency from you, out of your mouth, so that they can hear you, not from me. I understand what you're trying to do, but I need you to explain to them. So you're the guy that want to drive this forward, not me. So please.
Absolutely. So my focus now is to create a database that has the affiliate marketing, multi-level marketing structure. It is the same uni-level structure as Hyper. And what that means is there is nothing wrong with creating databases. I mean, just look at Facebook. It's a database.
And we're not getting anything from Facebook.
Of course you're not, because Facebook is monetizing you as a user, even monetizing all the friends you brought onto Facebook as users, and you're not getting any benefit from any of that, no. Which is fine. All right. But moving forward, if we create an affiliate marketing structure that is unlimited levels, right, and then I am in a very strong position to bring this in front of the largest corporations in the world and say, hey, will this help you increase awareness of a new product, or for them to participate in a groundbreaking new opportunity that only exists because people's habits are changing due to the advancement in technology. So at the very least, because we have a captive audience, we're able to provide everyone in the community something for nothing, because we're tapping into the marketing and the market research budgets of the largest corporations in the world. And out of that, leadership will benefit as well, because as you're the ones who influence the changing habits, which are eventual and inevitable anyways, because technology is there and always moving forward. So if you're an influencer to help onboard users into something that involves changing of habits, then you will be rewarded, because guess what? A lot of these tech companies, they grow by losing money on just user acquisition, right? Even Tesla, right, for the better, the majority of its lifespan was losing money for every electric car it produced. But that was because it needed to get to critical scale. It needed the defensible infrastructure in place in order to be in a strong position to grow. So that's where I believe the affiliate marketing model plus creating tokenomics for the largest companies in the world. If we combine these three things together, then of course there's going to be an outcome for both community, leadership, and the company with no need for any new money coming in.
Say that again. No, what? Sorry.
No contribution of funds from the membership.
Right. That's what I'm able to hear what you just said.
Because we're dealing with a very fragile community. I recognize that, but I also recognize what we're able to create together, if done in the right way, will be the launch pad for the next big tech giants that list on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange.
Right. Okay. I hear you. So in relation to what you've just said, that is something different to what we're talking about with Verse. So that still stands. Does that affect our rights as members still with Verse if we carried on to move forward with what you're saying with the database and with other companies that you will approach and so on? Is there any effect for us in getting our funds back through Verse? Does that affect us at all?
Look, there is a non-compete there somewhere, but I to be honest, think that corporate needs to understand that there are now two groups of people here to support the community, themselves and my team here, right? So I just need to keep doing this, regardless of what they're doing, because I just cannot sit around, wait, and hope that they will do the right thing. Look, as much as I'd like to say it doesn't affect, right, it's completely up to them, because they've done worse things in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised if they want to, I guess, use this as an excuse, right? But at the end of the day, that's fine as well. I at least tried, and if a portion of the community says we will keep waiting for corporate, then so be it. At least I've come into full view of the community to drive an outcome.
Okay. So did you want to talk more to us then about your plans to give us a better understanding for those that never heard about what you've just said about what you can do for us without us putting something in?
Absolutely. So in September, after, of course, witnessing that corporate's not moving fast enough, in September, I launched Stable DAO, which is a platform that, again, is here to build a database and drive commercial outcomes on behalf of its members. What we were offering was initially debenture certificates of the real estate fund that I operate and have been operating since 2018. You know, because I've been playing a game in the crypto space, leveraging regulatory experience, I was able to meet a lot of friends in those circles, and they always go back into these huge master plan opportunities for real estate development, and it all references back to having put 2.5 billion people into urban environments by 2050. So that process is happening regardless of whether we do anything or not. But considering that my networks are all in place for me to tap into that, there is no reason why I wouldn't offer it to, you know, the general public. So moving forward, I recognized that considering that the registration and sign up infrastructure is already there, it just makes sense for everybody who is currently in the hyper community who wants to give me some answers to just sign up for free and give me some visibility. Okay.
So basically, in a nutshell, Stable DAO is a database of users as individuals, and then you will bring to us or to them our database as and when opportunities arise. So would we ever have to pay anything at all?
No, it's just like you never had to pay Facebook, but they're obviously able to monetize.
Yes, they monetize.
You know, as you leave your messages on your Facebook wall, the AI algorithm then recommends you things, you know, recommends your friends things along those lines, you know. So again, the value per user to the platform is massive, but how do we ensure that not only is the person that is on the platform benefiting, but also the people who referred them into the platform can also benefit? That's the beautiful thing about affiliate marketing. And the largest corporations are already doing affiliate marketing, but they're not doing it in the way that we feel can benefit the future of tokenomics. So in the real world, a dollar's a dollar, you know, and it always remains a dollar. But in our world, we live in a world of abundance because we could print 100 million tokens and share it with all our friends. And as long as we all recognize there's value, then all of a sudden, on paper at least, we all are able to amass an immense amount of wealth. So that is called consensus. And that consensus mechanism in the future bull market has to be built with a community that has this affiliate marketing, multi-level marketing structure and a capability of being rewarded for bringing people in.
Okay, so it's not just us as Hyperverse, it's us bringing in other people as well, brand new.
Well, correct. And when we collaborate with the largest corporations in the world, they probably already have 100 million users. We're just simply the million-plus community going in there and changing the habits of their existing users. So in doing so, by providing that education, we assist these corporations to make their members more valuable to them, their customers more valuable to them, and through that process, will be rewarded. So my objective is, how do we settle and make everyone whole outside of corporate's promise? Well, we need to naturally grow this into the hundreds of millions. And how do I do this without upsetting anyone? Let's do it in a way where we're partnering with the largest corporations around the world who have the marketing budget to put money up front, and fund the members acquisition process that they need to grow.
Because they're going to spend the marketing budget anyway, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So if obviously people are focused on what's in Verse. So I hear what you're saying about what you're doing. You started it already. So we're either on board or not on board. And I know it's everybody's decision whether they want to be on board with it or not. And that's why I wanted you to explain it to them so they hear it from you rather than from myself. For somebody, for example, who's owed 50,000 in Verse, how can your company help them to get that back? And how long could it take, for example? Because that's the main thing people's got on their mind, isn't it? Getting their funds back.
Yeah. So firstly, I need to know these people directly, and I understand not everybody's comfortable sharing their information with their leaders because it's quite personal information.
What information do you need? I thought it was just name, email. What do you need, or do you have to go through a KYC?
And how much they've deposited and how much they've withdrawn.
Okay.
And that's just A minus B equals C, right? And C's what's outstanding for 1X. So that can be shared directly with me through the Stable DAO platform.
Okay, I got you now. We've got to go through the platform. So that would be easier then, isn't it?
Of course,
if that's the case, right?
because or else it's asking everybody to share personal information with people that they might not feel comfortable sharing. When they share it directly with me, at least I have that to leverage and talk about at the upcoming board meetings.
Okay, so that will be utilized in two ways. One with corporate, and the other with leveraging us with other companies in the future.
Absolutely, because what you guys have created is nothing short but spectacular, and I have recognized that this value is something that I think can be put in a positive way to benefit the community in regardless of market conditions. Because you know what, crypto right now, although is growing, it's still a small thing. The real world out there is still growing and delivering on revenue lines independent of whether crypto goes up and down, right? I'm Australian, so I like beer. I can't stop drinking beer, and you know what? It doesn't matter if it's a bull or bear market in whatever industry.
That's true.
I'll keep drinking.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so I kind of asked you a question. I still didn't get that answer in relation to if somebody has a 50K, how will they be able to receive that through your DAO? How will they be able to, and a rough idea, just to give them some idea.
So, okay. Again, what I believe, can happen is, because we will be from millions going into the hundreds of millions. Everybody here has the potential to be a part of this amazing journey and be a leader of a much, much larger community. I will protect this community and do right by this community by making sure that we check all the regulatory boxes. And out the other end, of course, because you guys are leaders to drive the future adoption of companies that will be the companies that list on the New York Stock Exchange and on NASDAQ. I'm sure there's a way that we're able to build a tokenomic that benefits the members as well as leaders directly. Just imagine Microsoft back in the early days, if they had access to blockchain, you know what will be a really smart thing to do? It will be have a QR code with a private key with some tokens on the Windows licenses that they were selling. And guess what? Because the tokenomic is tied to the success of the company, as the company succeeded, the tokens went up. And therefore, customers become beneficiaries of the company's success. And it almost creates a new class of shareholders that wish the company well and benefit financially as they keep consuming their product.
So you're basically saying they'll get more than their 50K out of the system that you've got started already.
Look, I will not stop until everybody gets their 1x. I will not stop because this is the original intention to drive, a new way of creating and exchanging value. This world is one that will be full of abundance as blockchain becomes more and more mainstream. And why is this so? Is because for the first time in human history, we can create and exchange value. And through that creation and exchange value with no centralized or entity or third party, it means that we're in a very dynamic financial environment that can accelerate wealth building. And so that is why, I'm encouraging everybody, to not give up and to keep understanding why they joined this community in first place. It was based on my intentions, all right? But the intentions, of course, are now lost because a corporate is not delivering based on my intentions. So I'm here to deal directly with the community and do what's right by the community.
So I think some people would say, if you haven't helped them now with Verse, or you said you haven't got visibility with Verse, how will they guarantee that you'll help them now? That's what some people would say.
Yeah. So I can only do my very best, and I'll keep doing my very best for as long as possible, because you just have to also think, a person who has been through so much in this industry and still keeps going, that's very few people in this industry, because a lot of them, unfortunately, as this industry evolves, don't like where this industry is going and what it's become, and therefore just decide to retire. But they're retiring with a treasure trove of knowledge that can support the industry's continued growth. But unfortunately, when they choose not to continue, it means that, unfortunately, people participating in this industry are making the same mistakes over and over again.
Okay, so in relation to your new business, then, you're saying that you'll have full control, full visibility, and control of the purse strings. to make sure that we get paid something out rather than wasting our time registering a database and nothing happens.
Absolutely, and that is spot on. So I'm here to drive an outcome. I wish that everybody can understand why they originally joined, and what they saw in the pitch deck was my intention. It was just very poorly executed, and unfortunately, I need to now do my best to hold those responsible accountable, and at the same time form a direct relationship with the community so that we're able to directly create value without a third party involved.
Sam, I just want to say thank you for coming on the call, because I know you've got another meeting at 8 o'clock. But obviously we want to continue this dialogue with you to make sure, I think the first and foremost people are focused on what you can do to help us to get back what we put in. For those who haven't taken anything out and put in, they haven't taken anything out, and they came with full trust in this space because you guys were involved. So we need results. And in relation to that new company that you already formed, that's great. And people would have to decide for themselves if they want to participate. But the way it sounds to me is that we who were part of Hyperverse can come in for free. And because I know from when I saw it started, because I've been looking out there, seeing what you're up to, and I noticed Stable Down started and people were paying to join Stable Down. But what you're saying, because we are Hyperverse, you want us to be joining if we want to, but you're not going to charge us to join. You're going to be giving us the debenture certificate value of 100 USDT, something like that. Is that correct? So we're going to, is that right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
And then you're asking us to come in to this structure as the leadership we are now in Verse, all the way down against each other with a link from each other to come in with you. That doesn't mean that we still won't have access in relation to what's going on with our one times. That's something that you're going to fight with us with, and because we're talking about legal action if that doesn't happen. But what you're saying is let's move on, because there's a lot going on there that we can take advantage of, and that's what you've set up. Was that set up for going forward for visions that you had, or was that partly set up for us as well, or we just came to be part of it now? Or?
Well, we had 400,000 people within
already
3 months of opening up the platform, and you know, it was more to prove a point.
You seem to have frozen out a little bit there. Are you still there? Sam has frozen. Are you still there? Still there? So guys, can you hear me, Sam? Can you hear me? So it's got a bad internet at the moment. So guys, we haven't got time for questions. This was just an hour call.
Subsequently,
sorry, Sam, you kind of cut out. Are you still there? Sam dropped off. So guys, we haven't got time for questions, and I think
Susan, sorry about that.
Oh, you're there.
But I need to go now.
Yes.
But let's schedule another call so that we're able to open it up to the floor and get some of these questions answered, because yes. I really love that, right? The more visibility I get, the better I'm able to move quickly towards a solution. So thank you again, Susan. Thank you everyone for being a part of this call. And I do look forward to having another session with everyone with it opened up to the floor. Thank you again.
Appreciate your time. Thank you very much,
okay.
Sam. Take care. Speak to you soon. So guys, as you heard there from Sam, he will do a session with us again because we knew we only had an hour. So we will arrange that again for a session for you to ask more questions as well. Is Des on the call? Oh, Des drop off. So guys, there's pointless asking questions.
Susan, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. I was going to say, do you want to close out and then we can arrange for people to ask questions to Sam?
Absolutely. We'll arrange a part 2, guys. It's very important that people get their questions answered. You're speaking to, you know, the main man himself. So let's do a part 2. Today was limited. We'll arrange a part 2, and then we can take it from there.
Thank you very much, guys.
Take care, guys. Thank you, Susan. Great job.
No problem. Thank you, guys.